Welcome back to Girl Talk. We're filming here at Rubens Furniture on their downtown location. And later we'll have a little discussion about some dining room furniture that they have going on.
We're downstairs, downtown.
Downstairs, downtown, because we've been on like all levels. So this is a new platform for us. But first, this is a face that you might recognize. This is Melanie Fritz from Madison Media. And she's here with us again today, not talking about her usual topic, however.
Right.
Usually it's about your relationship with adults and healing, myself included. Fabulous, highly recommended. But today we're going to steer to a different topic with kids, your work with children. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I often see children with their parents or their families. Maybe they've lost a loved one, but actually often it's because they're struggling with their own gifts or their intuition and are maybe seeing things that they're unnerved by or hearing
Children
things.
are.
Exactly, children are unnerved by, and their parents just aren't entirely sure how to handle it. Some more extreme cases I do refer to a shaman that I have in Sauk City. Her name is Deborah Morrill, and she's amazing and does a lot of work with kids and developing their gifts and getting them comfortable in their own skin and that type of thing, especially the parents too, because I think it's actually easier for the kids, just the parents don't always know what to do.
Right.
I also...
Which is totally normal.
Yes.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. I think it's probably normal for the kids because they don't know any different. They just have maybe this innate sort of feeling.
Right.
So that's really interesting, and that's actually what I want to talk about next. Now, these are Melanie's kids. This is Kale and Sam who are joining us today. And so, growing up, kind of, with your lifestyle and your profession, I'm sure that, it brings to mind some things for these kiddos, but it's not unusual. So talk to us a little bit about the difference for folks at home. What's the difference between somebody who is intuitive when talking about kids and then imaginative? Because kids are so imaginative.
Right, and I actually feel like they go hand in hand. I think that, like, my kids are just like any other kids. At first, I thought they were gifted because of the things that they would talk about and see and dream about and whatnot. But as I've done the work with clients, what I've realized is that about 15 out of 20 adults will have a dream that materializes in life. A component of it or the entire thing actually develops and actually happens. But it's about 19 out of 20 children that actually have that going on. They don't have to be asleep to actually have this either. They can actually have visions or feelings or just know how things are going to ultimately line up. But actually, I truly believe that every child up until the age of about 6 is capable of having this sixth sense activated. But for whatever reason, if we don't encourage them or embrace it or listen to them, it powers down around age 6. And they kind of have to figure it out later on. I definitely think our kids are better off if we listen and we, try to help them along with these gifts and abilities. Our kids nowadays are very, very different than us when we were growing up. They're just more open and more in tune with the world around them and the things that we cannot see. So
There's so many things you just said that I want to expand
I
on,
know.
but it's hard
I'm
to
looking
pick.
at the clock.
I know.
One of which being, I would love to hear your story because I know that you were not a child when you kind of came into this into fruition on your own.
Right.
So I'm really interested in that story. We have to save that for another time.
Yes.
Right now, I'd like to hear from Sam. Sam, what do you think about your mom being a medium?
Is it strange for you or?
She was always kind of strange. She's been doing it for so long that it kind of feels normal.
It feels normal now for you?
Yeah, that was so cute.
Are you aware of how many people your mom has helped? Have helped? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible
amazing
stuff.
gift.
Yeah, absolutely. I also, I think it's really unique and interesting that they've grown up with this, but you've been able to sort of foster this in them a little bit and not sort of shut it out like you talked about so many parents. It's natural to say, oh, that's your imagination.
Right.
Or with TV and media, you might think, oh, what movie did you see? Where did you get
Right,
that
right.
from? But there's many aspects to this. And really quick before we go, I know we're almost out of time, but what do you think parents should do if their kids are maybe struggling with this or can't handle are scared by some of the things that they're seeing?
Sure. Actually, instead of picking up the phone and calling me right away, which I'm sure would be the best thing to plug right here, there's a book called, actually, it's by Sylvia Brown. It's called To the Other Side and Back. And I feel like it's not about intuitive kids specifically, but it is the beginnings of intuition starting and what we can do to keep ourselves safe. And so many of those practices I've adopted, and they've just simple, like open and close signs, visualizing them. If a child visualizes a close sign, it should power down the spirit connection for a short time and things like that. I would actually say start there, but definitely listening to their child, being open to what they're having to say, looking into it maybe a little further rather than dismissing it as an imaginary friend, because
that's the word. We tend to dismiss it and think, oh, that's silly or what have you, but there's a lot of reality. That's a big, big world. There's a lot that's out there that we don't know and aren't aware of. This is such a big topic.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
awesome. We gotta go.
Thank you for being here again. If you missed any of that, you can check us out on YouTube to catch that book again, but some great education to start with.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Girl Talk. Ruben's Furniture is up next.